He saved his childhood sweetheart. On the day of the engagement, the building opposite his boyfriend's house caught fire. He rushed downstairs to save his childhood sweetheart trapped in the flames. But the fire was intense, and firefighters had already begun rescue operations in the neighborhood, so I stopped him from going. Later, we got married, but he kept taking care of his childhood sweetheart who had been disfigured. I spent over 30 years alone in an empty house, childless. And when I fell seriously ill, he pulled out my oxygen tube. Chu, were you happy in this life? If you hadn't stopped me back then, Mila wouldn't have been disfigured. When I opened my eyes again, I had reincarnated to the day of my engagement. Mila is my sister. I have to go save her. Go quickly. Go quickly. When Lou left the house, he even forgot to close the front door. In the restaurant, everyone was so embarrassed they didn't know what to do. This. My mom looked awkwardly at Lou's parents. Who is Mila? My dad asked. Lou's father shook his head, while his mother rubbed her hands together, clearly embarrassed. It's a girl from the neighborhood, the same age as Luca. They grew up playing together. Grandma Lou, sitting at the head of the table, spoke up. My parents nodded in understanding. Mrs. Lou quickly turned to me, forcing a smile as she explained. Chu, don't overthink it. Luca and that Mila Chen are just good friends. Nothing more, Father Lou agreed. Yes, the Chen couple are idle all day long, and Mila Chen hasn't had a proper job since graduating from vocational school. Their family is not on the same level as ours. There's no intersection. I laughed. Uncle and Aunt, may I go to Lou's room? Of course, Mother Lou nodded. I turned and walked away. In Lou's room, I took the blue-covered diary from his desk and the photo of Mila Chen under his pillow. In this second life, I know all too well what his valuables look like and where they're kept. I returned to the dining room and handed the two items to Luca's parents. Lou has liked Mila Chen for a long time. You can see for yourselves. After a pause, I spoke again. Since he chose to abandon me today to save Mila Chen, it's clear she's always been in his heart. Then let's call off this engagement. From now on, Lou and I have nothing to do with each other. After speaking, I ignored whatever Mr. and Mrs. Lou were about to say and turned to face my parents. Dad, Mom, let's go home. Fine, let's go, my mom replied curtly, clearly still angry. Lou and I were high school classmates. In our second year, Lou scored the highest in English in our entire grade. During his English class presentation, I found him incredibly charming, handsome, and cool. From that moment on, I started to like him. After the college entrance exams ended, during a class gathering, by sheer coincidence, Lou and I ended up sitting together. We talked about the universities and majors we wanted to apply to, and our vague plans for the future. That day, we talked a lot. Later, when the college entrance exam scores came out, Lou called me. Chu, let's be in a relationship and apply to university together. Okay, I said happily. We dated throughout our 4 years in college, and after graduation, we met each other's parents, naturally progressing to engagement. On this day in my past life, I stopped Lou, because from his balcony, I could see the fire in the opposite building was intense, with thick black smoke continuously expanding and surging into the sky. Firefighters downstairs had already begun rescue operations, and police and doctors had arrived as well. With barricade tapes set up, I assumed the police wouldn't let Lou rush into the flames to save someone, and at the same time, I was worried about his safety and couldn't bear to see him take such a risk, so I desperately tried to stop him. Later, his childhood sweetheart was rescued by the firefighters, but her left face and left shoulder were severely injured. He spent a full 3 months taking care of her in the hospital. At that time, I thought it was just out of friendship and guilt. After all, he had initially intended to save her. Even when I found Mila Chen's photo under his pillow, I made excuses for him to convince myself. After marriage, he still insisted on taking care of Mila Chen, and I gradually grew concerned. We talked, argued, and fought, but nothing changed. Life just went on, day by day, without any real resolution. It wasn't until I was 52 years old that I accidentally discovered Lou's old diary and suddenly realized he had always loved Mila Chen, from the moment he first fell in love until now. The person in his heart has always been Mila Chen, never changing. After venting all my sorrow and regret, I filed for divorce, but Lou refused to agree. I pursued legal proceedings, But he interfered and obstructed in every possible way, causing the court to delay its judgment indefinitely. I was depressed all day long, and illness began to take hold of me. When the ambulance took me to the hospital for the third time, the doctor issued a critical condition notice. Luca Lu, as the only family member, removed my oxygen tube. El Chu, in this lifetime, were you happy? If you hadn't stopped me back then, Mila wouldn't have been disfigured. I had long suspected he still held a grudge against me. Gazing into his indifferent eyes, I smiled faintly and closed mine. Now, I've granted him his what if I didn't stop him this time. I hope his Mila, as he said, won't be disfigured. On my way home, I deleted Luca Lu's phone number and all his social media accounts. Sitting and chatting with my parents, they even comforted me. Don't be sad, a scumbag like Luca Lu doesn't deserve you. We'll find someone better for you in the future, my mom said. My dad also said, sweetheart, it's okay, later. Your mom and I will ask around among our relatives for outstanding young men for you. My daughter is not lacking, she won't have trouble getting married. I nodded, as if agreeing with their words, but I had other thoughts. Dad, Mom, I don't want to consider marriage in the next few years, I said. I want to work while preparing for graduate school. Currently, I'm employed at a top 100 company. The workload isn't too heavy, the salary and benefits are quite good, and there's significant room for career advancement. In my previous life, I resigned from this company after getting married and found a lower paying but easier job. Because I wanted to spend more quiet time with Luca Lu and have a child to give her more companionship. Yet in the end, my thoughts were nothing but a joke. Now, I understand clearly that career and ability are more important than any person or emotion, then strive for it. After that, I shared my specific plans for work and studies. My parents were very supportive after hearing me out. Sweetheart, go for it. Dad is looking forward to an even better version of you. My mom nodded and said, as long as RL is happy, that's all that matters. After working for a week, my best friend Liu Chang reached out to me. Is your Luca Lu seriously injured? Liu Chang was my desk mate in senior year of high school, and she pretty much witnessed the entire journey of my relationship with Luca Lu. I didn't quite understand this statement, but I told her the truth. Luca Lu and I broke up. On the day we were supposed to get engaged. Holy shit, what's going on? Liu Chang was shocked. I told him about what happened on the engagement day. After Liu Chang understood, he realized, no wonder some people said Luca Lu got burned. Wait here, I'll go find out the details. An hour later, Liu Chang called again. Girl, I've got the scoop. Liu Chang said. I listened. Luca Lu and his childhood sweetheart Mila were both burned, and it's pretty serious. I heard the police couldn't stop Luca Lu. He rushed upstairs to save someone, but originally, Mila was hiding safely with a wet towel over her nose and mouth and another in her arms. However, after Luca Lu arrived, Mila went to open the door and got hit by something burning in the house, burning her entire leg. Later, when Luca Lu tried to take Mila downstairs, somehow both of them were knocked unconscious by falling debris. Fortunately, Mila had given Luca Lu a wet towel, so when the firefighters found them, they were still breathing. Liu Chang said so much all at once. I didn't respond or say anything. Liu Chang continued slowly. Both of them have suffered extensive burns now. Luca Lu has injuries on his face, back, and legs, while Mila is hurt on her legs, arms, and waist. Do you think if Luca Lu hadn't rushed forward, and the firefighters had rescued Mila instead, her injuries wouldn't have been this severe? And then there's Luca Lu, who abandoned you to save Mila. Now look at his fate. TSK, I can't help but say it's karma. I stayed silent after hearing this. But in my heart, I thought, Luca Lu, it seems the outcome isn't quite what you'd hoped for in your past life. I'm busy with work every day while preparing for the postgraduate entrance exam. That day, just as I finished dinner and was about to study, I received a call from my mom. The Lu family came to our house today. Luca Lu was burned in a fire, and the Lu family plans to sell their house to pay for his skin graft surgery. The couple came to apologize on behalf of their son and even proposed a marriage alliance with us. I asked, how did you respond? My mother immediately became animated. I flatly refused. What's the point of a man who can't make up his mind? He's not someone you can build a life with. I smiled contentedly and agreed, that's right. I didn't dwell on this matter, and the following days passed peacefully as well. Over the weekend, I made plans to go shopping with Liu Chang. Just as I was about to leave, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered the call. "Hello, Elle, it's me, Luca Liu." I was surprised. I had blocked and deleted him before, so he couldn't call me. Someone else's number. "What's up?" I asked coldly. Luca Liu said, "I'm at the hospital now. Can you come see me?" "No," I refused immediately. Luca Liu sighed. "Even though we've broken up, we can still be friends, right? Elle, I want to see you. Really, could you come visit me at the hospital?" "I don't want to see you," I refused again, adding, "In my eyes, you're not even a friend." In my past life, Luca Liu tormented me so much. Logically, in this life, I should target him, seek revenge. It wouldn't be excessive to make him die a miserable death, but I've thought about it. If I seek revenge, I'll only end up living in darkness and misery myself. So, forget it. Stay away from him. Cut all ties. I want to live this life of mine well. Perhaps my 2 rejections angered Luca Liu. As his tone immediately changed, "What's with the attitude? El Chu, let me tell you, I never loved you. When I confessed to you, it was just a fleeting crush. My heart has always belonged to Mila. I willingly chose to save her, even if it left me like this. Just wait and see. Once I recover, I'm marrying Mila right away. You don't have me, and no other man would want you either. You'll stay single for the rest of your life." His words didn't stir any emotions in me. My heart remained as calm as still water. After a moment of silence, I said lightly, "My life is none of your business." When Liu Chang and I talked about Luca Liu, it was all complaints. "What the hell kind of love is this? If you love Mila so much, why do you still want to see me? Are you asking for trouble? Just wait and see. Their relationship won't end well. Both of them got burned. They can cover it up with clothes now. But what about when they take them off? Won't they start to resent each other? Anyway, I'm just waiting to see Liu end up getting what he deserves. If they don't get married within 5 years, I'll buy 5 bottles of Waha and 5 bottles of Shuangwaiwai, then sit at the entrance of their neighborhood and drink them." After Liu Chang finished speaking, I added, "The Liu family seems to be selling their house." Liu Chang hesitated awkwardly. "Well, that's fine too. Just consider it my willing joke on him. Let me think." "You're right, that was a place of willing testimony." After the venting ended, we talked about work again, about the future. "Darling, work hard for your postgraduate entrance exam, strive to succeed, and aim for the highest place. You're so beautiful, and with your abilities, you'll meet someone even better and more loving in the future." Listening to Liu Chang's blessings and aspirations, my heart felt warm, and I was filled with confidence. Yes. Let's work hard together to live the life we want. Alright, after the postgraduate entrance exam ended, my life became a bit more relaxed. Every day after work, I returned to my rented apartment and cooked dinner for myself. My cooking skills have improved so much that after I returned home before the new year, my parents wanted me to cook for them every day. On the morning of the 26th day of the 12th lunar month, while I was grocery shopping at the supermarket, I unexpectedly ran into Mila Chen on the street. Mila Chen and I had known each other for a long time, all because of Luca Liu. In my previous life, after I got together with Luca Liu, he arranged a gathering where he treated Mila Chen and me to beef noodles and introduced us to each other. At that time, Mila Chen didn't even finish her noodles before saying she had something to do and left. After a few seconds of eye contact with Mila Chen, she walked towards me. I stood still, with no intention of avoiding her. "Oh, nice outfit. Looks like you made some money this year," Mila Chen said sarcastically. "I'm wearing a black wool coat, and the texture is quite nice." Then, I heard again, "What's the use of having money? Luca doesn't want you anymore. I heard that on the day of your engagement. Luca abandoned you and came to save me without hesitation. El Chu, you're nothing but abandoned trash." In Luca's heart, I'll always be number one. I just smiled at Mila Chen's smug expression. Then I looked at her outfit again. A long white down jacket nearly enveloped her entire body. Her hair was down. She wore a scarf around her neck, and long leather boots covered her feet. Only her face remained exposed. Mila Chen's face is a standard oval shape with well-proportioned features and bright, expressive eyes. Truly beautiful. In her previous life, half of this face was covered in pits and scars. Even wearing a mask couldn't fully hide the burn marks. So Mila Chen hardly ever went out. Precisely because of this, Luca Liu would run in and out every day to buy things for Mila Chen. Enduring her complaints and beatings, letting her vent her frustrations. Oh, and by the way, Mila Chen was also pregnant at one point, in the years before my death. Luca Liu spoke a lot about his past with Mila Chen. After the pregnancy test came out positive, Mila Chen deliberately jumped around and soon miscarried. Luca Liu was furious, but Mila Chen said that giving birth would require going to the hospital, where doctors would see her true face, and she refused. So by the time I died, Mila Chen was still staying in her house, probably planning to stay until death. I gathered my thoughts and also put away my smile. First place is great. I heard both you and Luca Liu got burned. Where were you injured? Is it serious? Luca Liu once said you love beauty the most, so, can you wear dresses in summer? Mila Chen's face immediately twisted in anger. El Chu, you bitch. Mila Chen raised her hand, about to hit me. I swiftly reached out to block her incoming hand, then forcefully pushed it away. You're the bitch here. You were the one who came after me first, who provoked me first. Mila Chen staggered back a few steps, speechless. I couldn't be bothered to deal with her anymore, so I turned and walked away. On the third day of the Lunar New Year, after meeting up with Liu Chang, I heard some good news. Huaheng said Luca Liu's skin surgery was relatively successful. Huaheng was our high school classmate, and Liu Chang had kept in touch with him. Liu Chang continued to share the news he had heard from Huaheng. Luca Liu's parents sold their house to focus on his treatment. I heard that for the previous 3 surgeries, they used their connections to bring in specialists from Beijing to perform them, which is why the results were so successful. The doctor said that if his recovery goes well, it will hardly affect his normal life. I nodded to show I understood. However, after the second surgery, Luca Liu had a big fight with his parents. Because of Mila Chen. Mila Chen's parents are unreliable and don't care about her at all. It's said that when her mother went to dye her hair, she was persuaded by Tony to buy some kind of oil. After using it a few times at home and not liking it, she made Mila Chen apply it on her wounds, claiming it was for beauty and could remove scars. Luca Liu wanted his parents to contribute some money so that the expert, who was still around, could also perform surgery on Mila Chen, but his parents outright refused, thinking he was out of his mind. Huaheng said that Luca Liu was too agitated at the time, and Dad Liu directly asked the doctor to give him a sedative. TSK, such emotions, truly moving heaven and earth, Liu Chang said faintly. I smiled without saying anything. The postgraduate exam results are out, and I made it. The interview went smoothly. I continued to live a busy life, juggling work and studies. My social circle was very small, so small that I only occasionally shared personal matters with one colleague and Liu Chang. Even calling my parents was limited to once a week. And we only messaged when there was something to discuss, never just to check in. By the end of that year, I was promoted due to outstanding performance in my evaluations. I became a small leader in the department, and my salary also increased significantly. On the night I received my first paycheck after the raise, I set a new goal for myself: buying a house. I want to buy my own home in the provincial capital, a 3-bedroom place, so my parents can come stay, and I can have a small study. After that, I worked even harder, but also managed my time wisely to study for my graduate courses. The following July, after a company team-building event, I returned home and received a call from Liu Chang. Something really shocking happened. I was puzzled. Luca Liu's grandmother was so angry she died. Hearing this news, my mind went blank. It took me a while to snap out of it, and my eyes gradually welled up with tears. In my past life, Grandma Liu was very kind to me. She was such a warm-hearted little old lady. Every time at the dining table, she warmly greets me. Have this chicken drumstick. You're too thin. You need to nourish yourself. And this fish, it's really delicious. Try it quickly. Help yourself to the dishes. My old lady's chopsticks aren't clean, so I won't serve you. She would also take my hand and lead me to her room, pulling out some candies, peanuts, biscuits, and other snacks from a small camphorwood box. Eat up, eat up. These were all given to me by my old friends. Let me tell you a secret. I have so many delicious treats. I often go downstairs to sunbathe, and my old friends give me lots of goodies. And also, a few days ago an old man brought me food, but I turned him down, because he was too ugly, had no teeth left, and when he spoke it was all muffled, like a fly buzzing. The carefree little old lady, with her cheerful mindset, knew only that eating well and being full was happiness. But in this lifetime, why is it already, at this point, who pissed you off to death? I asked. Who else could it be? Luca Lu, of course. Ahem. Breaking news incoming. Mila Chen is pregnant. Luca Lu took her home and told his family he wants to marry Mila Chen. Luca Lu's parents were completely against it, and so was his grandma. Then they started arguing. The old lady must have said something that Mila Chen didn't like, and Mila Chen immediately started cursing at her. The exact words were, "You old hag, you don't have many days left to live, and you still refuse to agree. Who the hell do you think you are?" After that, the old lady collapsed and stopped breathing. Hearing this, at that moment, I wanted to strangle Mila Chen. Reason gradually returned, and the thoughts slowly faded away. In this lifetime, I have no connection with anyone from the Lu family, and also, Liu Chang continued to speak. Mila Chen's parents demanded that the Lu family buy a house in full payment for the child in Mila Chen's womb, as a marital home, and the elders of the Lu family were not allowed to live in it. Moreover, the bride price was set at 380,000 yuan, along with several kilograms of gold, diamond rings, and the like. It seems the Chen family made these demands on the third day after Luca Lu's grandmother passed away. Right now, the Lu family is in complete chaos, and with someone having passed away in the rental house, the landlord is rushing them to move out. After hearing all this, I was just a bit surprised. In my previous life, even though Luca Lu and I had a lukewarm marital relationship, the Lu family as a whole was peaceful and natural. But in this life, Luca Lu and Mila Chen haven't even gotten together yet, and things have already turned into such a miserable state. Luca Lu, are you satisfied with your choice? 3 months later, I never expected to see Luca Lu again. That day, I had just finished discussing work with a colleague from the department when my assistant knocked on the door and stood at the entrance, saying, "Someone is here to see you, at the front reception area." Alright, I got it. I simply tidied up the documents on my desk and left. When I saw Luca Lu sitting in the reception area, I was momentarily stunned. Gradually, it dawned on me. I had been working here when we were dating, and since I never changed jobs afterward, he naturally knew my workplace. I quickly composed myself and walked over. "Do you need something from me?" Luca Lu had already stood up. His current appearance was disheveled, his hair greasy and unkempt, his eyes dull with dark circles, his stubble grown long, wearing a frayed casual t-shirt and sweatpants. "Yes, I do." Luca Lu nodded. "Let's sit and talk." I took a seat opposite where Luca Lu had been sitting. After sitting down, Luca Lu said first, "Chu, you've changed." I ignored his remark. "What do you want to talk about?" Luca Lu immediately straightened up and said, "Well, could you lend me some money?" Seeing my surprise, he quickly explained the reason. "I've cut ties with my parents. After my grandmother passed away, my aunt gathered a group of people to beat me up. My mother fell ill due to poor health, and my father severed our relationship." I frowned, clearly not expecting this. But Luca Lu thought I didn't believe him and quickly added, "Everything I said is true. My estrangement from my parents has legal validity. We notarized it at a notary office." After saying this, he muttered, "I actually resent my parents too. They treated Mila poorly and stubbornly opposed our marriage. I don't want them in my life anymore." I didn't show much expression this time. Luca Lu continued, "Right now, I'm living with Mila at her place. Mila is pregnant, her father went abroad with someone to make big money, and her mother left with an aunt some time ago. No one knows where they went. She hasn't come back recently. Mila can't reach her father, and her mother has no money. I've been taking care of Mila without a job or income. So now, we don't even have money for prenatal checkups." At this point, Luca Lu looked into my eyes and said again, "Chu, please, can you lend me some money? Although I never loved you, and I was the one who left you back then, I truly love Mila and the baby. I want Mila to stay healthy and the child to be born safely. I don't need much, just 300,000 will do. Can you lend it to me?" "No." I didn't hesitate for a second and refused outright. Luca Lu didn't expect me to answer so quickly, and so decisively at that. He was stunned for quite a while before he finally spoke. "Is it because you hate me for not loving you that you won't lend it?" "No," I replied. "It's because I have nothing to do with you that I won't lend it." With that, I stood up, ready to leave. "If there's nothing else, I'll be going now, and also, don't come looking for me in the future, you and I." really have nothing to do with each other. I had just turned to leave when I heard Lucalu call out to me, "El Chu, aren't you afraid I'll make a scene?" In an instant, I guessed he wanted to act shamelessly, but I wasn't afraid. I kept walking forward. Just as I took the 9th step, I heard Lucalu shout behind me, "El Chu, you shameless thing, you're all El Chu's colleagues, right?" Perfect timing. Come and take a good look at her true colors. At that moment, there were colleagues passing by, not many, but not few either. I slowly turned around, listening to Lucalu's shouting, "El Chu is nothing but a despicable woman. Don't be fooled by her well-dressed appearance. What she does is truly disgusting. On the day of our engagement, she set fire to my best friend's house just to show off in front of them. While I was trying to put out the fire, both my best friend and I got severely burned. Later, when I left her, she refused to let go and harassed me at my home, which ultimately caused my grandmother to pass away from the stress. Now, after finding out that my best friend and I are getting married, she's targeting them again, trying to harm the baby in their womb. El Chu, how can you be so vicious? The one who deserves to die has always been you. Why don't you just die?" After hearing these ridiculous incidents, the corners of my mouth lifted as I laughed first. At the same time, I also understood one thing. Lucalu wants to destroy me. Spreading such rumors is just an attempt to ruin my reputation. But the me of this life, the present me, how could I possibly be weak? The colleagues around us looked at the frenzied Lucalu, then at the composed and silent me, momentarily unsure how to analyze or speculate. "Are you done?" I asked Lucalu. Lucalu clearly didn't expect me to be so calm, not the least bit anxious. He was momentarily at a loss. I took a few steps forward and stopped. "You say I set your friend's house on fire, then call the police now and have them arrest me." I stretched out my hand, signaling him to make the call, yet he swayed and took a step back. "I made your grandmother so angry she died. You could also call the police and accuse me of harassing residents and intentional assault, and I wanted to harm the child in your friend's womb. Show me the evidence, then call the police." I stretched out my hand again. 3 things. How have I broken the law in any of them? Go ahead, call the police. At this, Lucalu's expression turned panicked, and his body began to tremble. I remained calm, waiting to see what he would do. The colleagues around may be just bystanders, but everyone's intelligence is always sharp, right? Since you're so confident and bold, go ahead and call the police. Murder and arson are serious crimes. Call the police now. If you won't call, then I'll do it for you. A male colleague had long noticed something was amiss and immediately took out his phone, ready to call the police. Lucalu panicked and quickly stepped forward to block the male colleague. Don't call." "Why?" "Afraid the police will arrest you for spreading rumors." The male colleague was full of righteousness. Then he added, "Let me tell you, spreading rumors is also illegal, not to mention you're causing trouble at our company. Our company has surveillance cameras everywhere, so gathering evidence is effortless." Hearing this, Lucalu was so frightened that he immediately looked up to locate the cameras. When he spotted the 3rd camera, Lucalu turned around at once, lowered his head, and ran away. My work wasn't affected by Lucalu's rumors. On the contrary, several colleagues kindly asked if I needed someone to walk me home after work, concerned that Lucalu might harm me. I shook my head, declined politely, and thanked them. After successfully completing my postgraduate studies, I took my diploma to the HR department, and my salary was raised to a higher level. A year later, I bought an apartment. The house isn't very large, with 3 bedrooms, just the layout I prefer. The surrounding area offers convenient transportation, with schools and hospitals nearby, and there's even a park just outside the north gate of the neighborhood. This year during the New Year celebrations, both my parents and I were very happy. They were proud of my small achievements. However, when meeting relatives and friends, my parents still modestly described my job as ordinary and my life as unremarkable. On the 6th day of the Lunar New Year, as I stepped out in the morning to buy some fruit, just after leaving the neighborhood, someone suddenly darted out and stood right in front of me. I was so frightened that my whole body trembled, and I quickly retreated several steps. "El Chu." "It's me," the man said, wrapping himself tighter in his down jacket. Upon closer inspection, I realized it was Lucalu. I was very surprised by his sudden appearance. Look at how he appears now. His face weathered, his appearance unkempt, looking much older, nothing like a man in his 20s. It took me a while to steady my emotions. "What do you want?" I asked him. At that moment, I wasn't worried about my safety. After all, we were at the entrance of the residential area. With a security booth not far away and plenty of people coming and going around, I could call for help anytime. "I have something to tell you." I remained silent, listening. "El Chu, I've been waiting at the entrance of your neighborhood for 3 days, and only today did I finally see you." Confused by these words, I asked, "What exactly are you trying to say?" "I regret it, I regret it." Luca Lu suddenly took 2 steps forward, closing the distance between us. "I don't love Mila Chen anymore. I don't want her. I want to be with you. I want to live a good life with you." I was even more confused. I thought about it, but still couldn't understand. "Luca Lu, are you out of your mind? Has he lost his sanity? What kind of nonsense is this?" Luca Lu shook his head, understanding my stunned confusion, and continued, I had a dream where you and I got engaged. We got married shortly after our engagement. You loved me very much and treated me well." Hearing this, I suddenly realized, had he also been reborn? Luca Lu continued speaking, "I want to make this dream come true. Do you still love me now? I can abandon Mila Chen, I can abandon my son, and be with you forever." After saying this, Luca Lu added an explanation. "Mila Chen is absolutely no good. Her scars are so ugly, they make me sick every time I see them. And Mila Chen has gained so much weight after having a baby, she's just a fat pig now. I don't even want to touch her." I never imagined Luca Lu's life and thoughts would be like this now. After processing the information, I smiled. This person is even more of a scumbag in this life than in the previous one. How on earth does he have the nerve to come looking for me? Luca Lu became instantly excited when he saw me smile. You still love me, don't you?" "Wrong." Luca Lu froze, just as I was about to say, "You disgust me. Get lost." My phone suddenly rang with a message. My phone was already in my hand. I raised my hand to unlock the phone and saw the message. "Jiang Huai, Happy New Year. I like you." After a moment of surprise, I recalled Jiang Huai's face and his demeanor, and a slow smile spread across my lips. Jiang Huai is a client of our company, the CEO of Jiang Group, and the heir of the Jiang family. He returned from studying abroad half a year ago. Outwardly, he seems a bit frivolous and carefree, but in reality, he's quite reliable, especially at work. His decisiveness, judgment, and vision are truly admirable. So this time, it's not about work. He's joking with me. Luca Lu noticed my distraction and quickly pressed further. Don't you love me anymore? You haven't gotten married yet. Isn't it because you're waiting for me?" This time, I was so angry I laughed. At the same time, my thoughts changed. Rather than telling him to get lost, I might as well use this joke to deal with it and avoid him pestering me further. I turned my phone screen directly toward Luca Lu to show him the message. "I have someone I like. We have mutual feelings for each other." After saying this, I put away my phone and walked past him with ease. After returning to work after the new year, Jiang Huai and I communicated about work as usual. After meeting, we only talked about work, and neither of us brought up that "I like you" phrase. The joke just passed like that. After a busy 6 months, in August, the company's deputy director suddenly discussed with me about sending me to work at the Melbourne branch for 3 years, with a direct promotion to senior management upon return. I wanted to go, and after discussing it with my parents, they respected my decision, and so it was settled. However, when we initially discussed my plans to study abroad, our family of 3 also made another decision, that my parents would move into my place and live in the provincial capital from then on. At the end of August, I went home on the weekend to pick up my parents and take them to the provincial capital. On Saturday evening, we arranged to have dinner with my uncle's family. In the private dining room of the restaurant, halfway through the meal, I received a work call. I hurriedly left the room and stepped outside the restaurant to take it. After finishing work discussions with my colleague, I was about to put away my phone and return to the hotel when I suddenly heard someone scream, "Murder! Murder!" I looked in the direction of the voice and saw a man staggering as he ran, with a heavy-set woman wielding a kitchen knife not far behind him. It took me a while to recognize the two of them. "It's Luca Lu and Mila Chen." Luca Lu stumbled and fell while running and looking back, seeing the opportunity. Mila Chen pounced with satisfaction, straddling Luca Lu directly. "You damn bastard, go to hell." Mila Chen swung the knife down, blood splattering everywhere. How dare you look down on me? How dare you cheat? Damn it, Lucalu, what gives you the right to despise me? If it weren't for you rescuing me from the fire back then, would I have been so severely injured? It's you who made me carry these scars for life. It's you who ruined my entire existence. Go to hell, Lucalu. Mila Chen slashed again and again with the knife. Her face was twisted with rage, and there were still words she wanted to say. I'll kill you first, then go home and kill that little brat. Don't worry, I won't live either. Fuck it, no one gets to have it easy. I watched Mila Chen and Lucalu lying in a pool of blood, just like the other bystanders around, too afraid to step forward and intervene. Because Mila Chen was clearly agitated, and she still had a knife in her hand, ready to lash out at anyone at any moment. Someone must have called the police earlier, as Mila Chen quickly stood up and left upon hearing the sirens. Still, no one dared to stop her, because Mila Chen was walking with a knife in hand. When the police arrived, a passerby briefed them on what had just happened, prompting the officers to immediately split up and take action. After the ambulance arrived, I watched as Lucalu, barely clinging to life, was carried onto the stretcher. As the medical staff coordinated their movements, suddenly through a gap, my eyes met Lucalu's gaze, but my expression remained natural, and my heart was calm, because, Lucalu, this is the life you wanted. The next day, as my parents and I left this familiar small town, I saw the news. Lucalu and Mila Chen, along with their son Lukuan, are all dead, according to the news. Lucalu stopped breathing on the way to the hospital. After returning home, Mila Chen strangled Lukuan with a rope, then slit her wrists and stabbed herself in the heart, committing suicide. By the time the police broke down the door, both mother and child had already passed away. I finished reading the news without any particular emotions or thoughts, and naturally put away my phone. The scenery outside the car window flashed by, and all I wanted was to live my own life well in this lifetime. Love yourself forever. Always stay positive. A week later, I'm heading to Melbourne. My parents saw me off at the airport, giving me lots of advice. This time, I didn't feel the slightest impatience. I listened attentively and nodded in response. After hugging them, I waved goodbye and headed for security. Half an hour later, as I sat in the waiting area by the boarding gate, about to take out my laptop to reply to work emails, I heard a familiar voice. El Chu, what a coincidence. I looked up and saw Jiang Huai, standing at 185 centimeters tall. He was dressed in all black casual wear, carrying no luggage. Around his neck hung a U-shaped pillow, and in his hands were his phone, passport, and boarding pass. I was surprised. What are you doing here? Ahem. Jiang Huai coughed twice and sat down in the empty seat beside me before answering. My family set up a new company in Melbourne, and I'm going over to manage it. Is that so? I was half convinced and half doubting in my heart. But I didn't say anything, just kept looking at Jiang Huai. Jiang Huai got nervous under my gaze and started trying to prove himself. Everything I said is true. If you don't believe me, I can show you the personnel transfer order from our Jiang family. He scrolled through his phone looking for the document image. And soon enough, I actually saw his job transfer order with an official seal on it. However, just now when he was rummaging through the pictures, I saw a few photos of myself. All of them were taken while I was working. Probably, he took them secretly. Suddenly, I remembered that joke from before. After a while, the corners of my mouth lifted. Jiang Huai, treat me to a meal when you get to Melbourne. Sure, it's my first time abroad. If I encounter any difficulties in daily life, could you help me? Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to.